But are you suggesting that Julia's position is that the BMI is the be-all and end-all? Because I don't think that's what I hear her saying. I think she's arguing that it's a starting point.
Julia's position is stating that BMI should be taken in context. These guidelines, however, specifically state one of their key action statement is that on the basis of BMI alone, even with no other unhealthy, any documented evidence of disease like diabetes or heart disease, that someone should intervene. So I think Julia's statement is absolutely what pediatricians should do. Take it as a small point in time. And I think many pediatricians in this course of a 20 or 15 minute long well visit are saying, sorry, your BMI is too high. It's a problem. We need to intervene. And then they're intervening with potentially problematic statements that include weight stigma.
I want to get on to some other topics, but I just want to ask you, Julia, do you want to say anything else about the BMI in response to what's just been said? And if not, that's okay.
Yeah, I think BMI it's really an excellent marker. I mean, regardless of its historical beginnings, I mean, that's a whole other conversation about everything in medicine. But yeah, BMI actually does when you look at BMI trends over time, you can see if their BMI is rising in a way that's higher than what is predicted and normal for their age. We have normative values. We understand normal patterns of growth, and we can see this. You're doing a physical exam. I think you're missing the point that if it's just BMI is a very, very good surrogate marker of excess adiposity that causes problems. It should be taken with all these other things. So I don't think the beginnings of
the normal. It's not about the origin, though. It's also about that it's primarily been validated in predominantly white non-Hispanic populations in the last 20 years, and the norm that we're applying is a one-size-fits-all approach that doesn't recognize the wide diversity of bodies that exist among adolescents and deviations in when puberty begins across different populations. And it leads to people being mislabeled and labeled as diseased, as having a chronic illness, even when they followed along the same curve for BMI, even by our normative values, for their whole lives.
But that's just not correct. That's just not correct.
That is correct. I see it in my practice all the time. Tell that to the young person I saw earlier today who was told that her body was a problem, even though she's trended at the 95th percentile for her whole life, and then rapidly lost 20 pounds after starting a weight loss medicine and is profoundly malnourished.
I'm assuming you're seeing a girl with an eating disorder. So this girl has a different disease. So she's talking about a girl with a different disease.
It is not a different disease.
A 20-pound weight loss is anorexia. That's a different disease than obesity.
I want to be clear.
Go together. They sometimes go together, if you'll let me finish. These diseases go together.